And welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. We got a packed house today. I'm Terry, obviously. Dave is in the middle, Tim beside him, Bryant bottom left, Nick bottom right, and we are ready to break down today's slate. I picked 4 games for us to go over. I believe it's an 8-game slate. Probably
9, but one of them's a second leg of a doubleheader.
Yeah, so 9-game slate, but I picked 4 games here for us to talk about. But as we usually do when we have a new guest on, Dave, welcome on in. Tell the viewers where they can find you and maybe a little bit about yourself quickly, and we'll jump into the first game afterwards.
Yep, so I'm Dave. I'm find me 2 different places: Twitter, Picks from Dave, and YouTube, Picks from Dave. I give out daily picks every night, so you guys have enough time to make your decision. They're all 1-unit plays, and I post all my results on Twitter as well.
We will jump right into the first game that I picked for today, and that's the White Sox and the Cleveland Guardians here. Looking at the current odds, you can find the White Sox anywhere from minus 108 to minus 115, and you can find the Guardians mostly between minus 105 to minus 110. There is a plus 100 at Bet365 available. So if you do like Cleveland, maybe bet it at Bet365 if you have access to them, as they are at plus 100 there. The total, you can find 9s, 9.5, depending on where you look. And in this one here, no official play for me at this moment, but I'm looking at Cleveland here. The Guardians, I'm not a big fan of Lance Lynn. Cal Quantrill on the other side. I'd rather back him than Lance Lynn, but I haven't really got to it yet. It's kind of just a lean for me. But seeing Cleveland at plus money is kind of catching my eye. So I may have to add the Guardians at plus 100 here. We will go to Dave. What do you think here? Cleveland and the White Sox.
Yeah, it's funny as I'm kind of the opposite. I'm more of a Lance Lynn guy than a Cal Quantrill guy. I'd say these 2 pitchers, it's kind of the story of 2 pitchers that have been good during their career but haven't done so well this year kind of thing. And you don't really know what these 2 teams, you never know which team's showing up. So I'm not really on a side, but one thing I do know is the White Sox at home against righties have been crushing it. I've got the last 30 days, 305 average, 799 OPS, and a 130 WRC plus. So I'm on the White Sox team total 4.5. I got it last night at minus 115. It's at minus 125, which is basically the max of where I like to be. But that's one of the best bets of the day. White Sox are crushing it. And Cal Quantrill is going to give up a couple of those runs. And if it gets to the bullpen, Cleveland's bullpen's been one of the worst the last 30 days. They've got a 7.58 ERA, 183 whip, and 302 opponent's batting average. That's their bullpen stats last 30 days. So I think it's White Sox in a fireworks show.
All right. Tim, White Sox and Guardians. What do you think of this one?
I like the idea of the fireworks show. I like the over. Lance Lynn, besides his one start in San Francisco against a team that cannot hit a beach ball with an oar, besides yesterday, of course. Other than that, he's allowed 16 earned runs in his 4 other starts. Not particularly that good in 21 innings. On the opposite side, you get Kyle Quantrill, who has also not been good lately. He's allowed, 13 runs in his last 4 starts. So he's kind of off to he's kind of rough lately. I can see both offenses coming and going at it. I would lean towards the side of the White Sox as well. I think they'll be able to hit Quantrill just a tad more than Lance Lynn. The Guardians will hit Lance Lynn. So I would lean towards the White Sox as well. But my favorite one in this one is the over.
All right. Welcome back, Ice X. Nice to see you. Guardians minus 1.5. Interesting.
Hey, if you're going to take it, that's I only got minus, but that's got to be a nice, plus 150, 160? That's got to be nice. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
well, they're technically the dog, so it's going to have to be the reverse line.
Yeah, that would be a big plus price if you like Cleveland.
Plus 175.
I was about to say, 175.
Wow. Bryant, what do you think
I'm
here?
not gonna argue with that.
White Sox and Cleveland and Guardians.
For me, it's pretty self-explanatory. I think you guys kind of covered the main gist of things. Neither one of these pitchers are really worth backing. I would lean towards the White Sox side. I think that they're playing a little bit better as a team, and that's largely due to the fact that they're healthy, or they're starting to get healthy, at least. But Cal Quantrill's been giving up home runs quite significantly. He's seen a rate that rate has jumped up a little bit. Lance Lynn is unbackable. So for me, it's the over for one. But then two, I am looking to the White Sox to jump on Cal Quantrill early. And I'm going to take the White Sox F5 team total over 2.5 at plus 105. Simply because, like I said, I just trust their offense more than I trust the Guardians' offense. I know we talk about splits and stuff, and the White Sox are definitely lefty killers, but Quantrill's been giving up basically like 2 home runs a start for the last like month now. Elo Jimenez is back, and I think he's an ultra talented player. Again, we've talked about this on this show multiple times. When the White Sox are healthy, as a collective, they should win the division. I don't know if it'll pan out this year, but they are the most talented team in the division, and I like them here. The offense is starting to click a little bit. Like I said, they have a little bit more synergy in the lineup, and I'm going to look for them to get to Cal Quantrill, and hopefully push him out the game relatively early. If I was going to take a side, I would take the White Sox, simply because I trust their bullpen a lot more than I trust the Guardians bullpen. Outside of Class A, I don't really rate any of the guys in the Guardians bullpen that highly. So, yeah, but it's really just offense for me in this game. You find a team total, find some sort of over and smash it, and I think you should be good, all things considered. If the starters don't do it, the bullpens will give it up. So.
All right, perfect. So my Cleveland Guardians lean is now gone. You guys have all talked to me right off that, so
You're
I'm glad
welcome.
it's lean. I'm not betting it anymore, so thanks, guys.
You're welcome, Terry. You're welcome.
Nick, unless Nick comes here and gives me a reason to bet Cleveland, I'm probably going to stay off. Nick, White Sox and Guardians. Should I bet the Guardians here?
See, I feel like if I would say that I want to bet Cleveland, you're going to turn around and bet the White Sox then, because you just don't listen to anything I say. Regardless, I'm just joking there. I'm on the White Sox here. I got the White Sox money line here. My numbers point to Lance Lynn, positive regressing. He's not going to continue to have a 5 ERA the entire season. That's just not the type of pitcher he is. I do expect him to finish probably mid-4s ERA, maybe low 4s. Expecting him to regress back down to the mean. I think they should get to Cal Quantrill a little bit here. I'm on the White Sox on the money line in this spot.
And real quick, since we're talking about regressing to the mean, Lance Lynn's advanced numbers look a little bit better than Kyle Quantrill's on top of that.
Yep.
Quantrill's FIP is like 5 point something right now.
5.5 the last 30 days.
Exactly. And Lance Lynn, despite the fact that we talked about how bad he's been since he came back, his is still in the 4s. It's going down. I know he faced the Giants, and that helped, but even then, he doesn't walk as many guys as Quantrill. On top of that, his Sierra is still lower. I'm just saying, it's a lean towards the White Sox. I'm not going to play it, but I think Lance is a little bit more trustworthy to get enough outs if you're going to go take that side than Quantrill is right now, especially considering how bad the Guardians bullpen is behind them. So.
Jay Shank says, for real, Bryant, lots of sharp money on the White Sox team total over. So White Sox due to go on a run sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
And to touch on Ice X's fade the public there, there's not really a public play on this game. Tickets and cash are about even, 55 and 56% pointing towards the White Sox. So there's no public or sharp play on this game.
Right. We will move on to the next one. Tim and Nick won't go over this game because it is on the site, Picks and Parlays. If you want to find out their pick in this game, you can go to earlsportsbets.com and you can find their pick there. But the rest of us will break it down. And I will start as always. Philadelphia minus 120 to minus 133. You can find St. Louis anywhere from around plus 100 to plus 106. Total 7.5, a few eights available here. We have a pitching matchup of Aaron Nola against Mike Mikolas. Nola has been good. A little bit giving up a few runs in his last game against Washington, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. Against Atlanta, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. But Atlanta, obviously, strong offense. Washington, their offense can definitely show up at times. The game before that, San Diego, 7 hits, 1 earned run, and a loss. He also had 10 strikeouts in that game. He had been rolling with the strikeouts until his last game against Washington. But he has been pitching overall well. Miles Mikolas on the other side against Atlanta in his last game, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. Before that, against Philadelphia, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 1 earned run against the Cubs. I'm going with the first 5 team total, first 5 under 4, which I bet at last night at minus 120. If you look at it now, you can find a 4 at minus 133, minus 125. Otherwise, you could take 3.5 for plus money. I like having the 4 just because it's a little bit safer, just in case there happens to be 4 runs. But I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. As Nick has said on previous shows, we've seen what the Cardinals' offense has been like lately. So I'm going to rely on that to kind of continue and to kind of keep a lower scoring first 5. No real opinion on the side here. I'd probably lean with the Phillies, but not going to touch anything. Just going to hope for a low-scoring start to the game. Dave, what do you think here? Phillies and Cardinals.
Yep, not my favorite game on the board. And I don't have a play that I bet. I guess I'll give some leans out. Aaron Nola's one of the pitchers I like to fade, not because he's a good pitcher. He's not bad. I just think he's overpriced. I think that Phillies team has so many guys on it that are paid way too much money for what they put out that they're just easy not to like. Sorry, Philly fans, but that's just the way I feel. But he's done really well, and actually he's gotten better over the season. I was able to fade him in the beginning, but now I really don't touch him. He's been pitching real well. And Miles Mikolas is a pitcher that I think if you watch him, you can see some real talent in this guy. He has this energy for the game, kind of like kids have in Little League. And it's also kind of a problem, too. I watched him I had a first 5 Cardinals bet against the Brewers a few weeks ago. And Arenado let a guy on base with an error. And you could see it got in his head, and he gave up a home run and ended up losing the bet, and he lost the game. But that kind of fire, I think if he turns it the right way, he's going to be a real good pitcher. Problem is it's the Phillies, and they're playing better. I think they're playing better than the Cardinals. So I don't have a side in this game. If I had gun to my head, if I had to make a bet, it would be an under bet. I haven't looked at the first 5. I don't like the numbers for what you showed. Maybe a full game bet. I might even take the 3.5. But I don't see a lot of runs being scored. I don't think the Cardinals specifically, like you mentioned, their bats are on fire. But I don't see the 2 starting pitchers giving up many runs, and I see them both going at least 6 innings. So an underplay would be my bet if I had a play in this game.
All right. Yeah, you can find 8 around minus 115 or 7.5 minus 110 plus 100, depending on.
I'd probably go full game under. Yeah.
All right. Bryant, what do you think here? Phillies and Cardinals. You're muted.
Before we get into this pick real quick, I wanted to go over some news that I just saw. It's pertinent, I think, to baseball this week. The JT Realmuto, Alec Boehm, and Aaron Nola and Kyle Gibson are not going to be participating in the Blue Jays series. None of them are vaccinated. So, yeah. So that's not happening. So I'm going to probably be hopping on the Blue Jays tomorrow and Wednesday heavy because of that, especially without Realmuto. That's a pretty big loss for the Phillies, who already don't have Harper as well.
Unders.
Yeah, unders.
Yeah, but that too. I think that has value. But anyway, as it relates to this game, I'm going with the Phillies. I have them on the money line. My best play, ironically enough, I say that as the Phillies are minus 123 faves on my book. But I like a play even better here. I like the Phillies, or I like Aaron Nola to hold the Cardinals in check for the first 5 innings at minus one or at under 1.5 runs. I think there's really good value there. The Cardinals just have not been really hitting the ball all too well of late. Nola's been pretty solid. He has had the penchant to give up some runs here and there, but that coupled with the fact that I've backed Mikolas to his last 2 starts, and whatever it is about that 5th inning, he can't get over the hump. He has screwed me twice in a row now in the 5th inning. I had him plus a half in the F5 against the Braves. It was 0-0 into the 5th inning, and he absolutely just shit the bed. Like I mean, and we were getting I think the Cardinals at plus a half for the F5 at like minus 135 against Max Fried. That's excellent value. Like you got to take that, right? If you didn't want to take the Cardinals or the Braves, and so he's screwed me twice, so I can't really back the Cardinals here. It's something about it; he'll just fall apart, and so for me, I've got to go with Nola. Nola's cashed a couple tickets for me lately. I think he's a trustworthy pitcher as well, and couple that with the fact that again, the Cardinals have generally just not been hitting the ball all too well. It really started in Atlanta, ironically enough. I'm going with the Phillies here. Their bullpen oddly is like figuring some things out. I don't know if they're trustworthy to consistently throw them on the money line full game, but I think Nola gets them 6 or 7. They're able to get to Mikolas for a couple of runs, and I think ultimately that's kind of where it is. I also think there's value on just taking the Cardinals team total under 3.5 tonight. You can get good value there if you think Nola can hold them down for maybe a run or two, and then you pass the buck off to the Phillies bullpen. Maybe take a chance there, but ultimately, like I said, I'm gonna take the Phillies team or the Cardinals team total under 1.5 for the first 5 innings and get in and get out. So
Perfect. We'll jump into the next game, and this is going to be a really good game tonight. The New York Mets are headed to Atlanta to face the Braves. You can find the Mets currently anywhere from plus 105 to plus 116. You can find Atlanta anywhere from minus 130 to minus 138. So pretty similar price within most books for Atlanta. And the total you can find mostly 7s, a couple 7.5s available here. And I'll bring it right to the first 5. I bet the Mets in Atlanta first 5 under 4 yesterday, and I got it at minus 120. Now it's 3.5, and you can find that for minus 125, minus 10, minus 130. So it's a full run. Definitely betting games early. Not in not all situations, but there are certain situations where I will bet my games earlier, and this was one of them that I looked at yesterday, and I was like, okay, I got to bet this right away. And good thing I did, because obviously it's a full run difference now. But I like the first 5 under. Hearing that McNeil will not be in the lineup for the Mets makes me feel even more better about the under. And I also like Atlanta to win this, but I'm not betting them at minus 130. I see that you can find minus 122 at FanDuel for the Braves. Actually, that's probably first 5. Yeah, it is first 5. Sorry. Yeah, minus 130 for Braves money line. Not something I really want to bet, but I do have a parlay at the end of the show that has the Braves in them, so I'll go over that. Dave, what do you think here, Mets and Braves?
So we have the same bet, and I am a proponent of betting early, at least for baseball. I tend to make my decisions and like them and stick with them and bet again if the action tails away from me. I'm not scared. I'm also not a money watcher. But these two pitchers, aren't going to give up a lot of runs. I usually give a start or two to a guy that's returning from the IL, but and Max, his last game wasn't, or Scherzer wasn't phenomenal. But we're talking about what I think is an all-time great pitcher, at least in the last 10 years. He's been great. So, and Max Fried, we've seen him, mow guys down. So I'm looking at the first 5 as well. I got 3.5. I was even later than you, and I got it at minus 107. I don't like anything over minus 120 for that bet. I'd probably go full game 7.5 at minus 20 now. I don't think the Mets bats. I was on the Mets train at the beginning of the season when they were tearing it up. They've slowed down, and I still think they have those guys that can do those things, but they're not doing them right now. And the Braves aren't showing that World Series hangover at all. I mean, they're rolling. So I'm scared of a side in this game, and there's a potential that the Braves go off. I don't see the Mets probably doing it, but I guess if I had to take another bet now, I'd go with the full game under. But my bet from last night is first 5, 3.5 under.
Awesome. Yeah, I didn't even touch on the pitchers. Thanks for discussing them. And yeah, another reason why I like this is Mets obviously much better against righties. The fact that Fried is a lefty is also a determining factor why I like the under and why I like Atlanta to win this game. Tim, Mets and Braves. What do you think here?
Now, real quick, Terry, when you look at your teams versus lefties or righties, is that full season or is that last 30?
That's full season.
Yeah, the Mets have hit lefties a lot better lately. Because I know that number was heavily skewed in the beginning of the year because they started off like 4-11 versus lefties. And that was the only games that they were losing was against lefties. They've been doing a little bit better against them lately. Also, I feel like this is going to be the first true big test for the Atlanta Braves. Because if you look at, I remember somebody said on like Memorial Day or whatever, they were down like 12.5 games or whatever. Now it's 1.5. Since then, they've gotten to play Arizona, Colorado, Oakland, Pittsburgh, Washington, Chicago, the Giants, okay. The Dodgers lost that series. Phillies, Cincy, a struggling St. Louis team, and Washington. The Mets are none of those teams, minus probably the Mets are probably closer to the Dodgers than anybody else. You're getting plus money for probably one of the best pitchers in our generation, minus maybe Clayton Kershaw in Max Scherzer. And I think that's just too big of too big of something for me to turn down. He had a phenomenal first start back. Granted, it was against the Reds. 11 strikeouts in 6 innings. Reason why he got a no decision is the Mets could not score that game. But we'll see how it is. I like the Mets tonight. I grabbed them at plus money. If the Mets were minus money, I'd be completely staying off this one. But as a dog, I got to jump on the Mets.
Red Sox played trash in their hot streak as well.
They did. And now we've seen that the Red Sox are slowing down. Oh, wait, never mind. They split against the Yankees. Anyways.
Interesting that Tim throws that in here before we hear from the Yankees fan. Bryant, what do you think here? Mets and Braves. Full disclosure, we all have our fans of our teams. Nick and Tim are Braves fans. I'm obviously a Blue Jays fan.
Whoa.
What?
We're not Braves fans.
Did I say Braves? Oh, my God.
You said Braves.
Rewind. Sorry.
Nick
okay, Tim, if we're a Braves fan, we have a Blackhawks fan in the top left corner there.
Yes.
Nick, sorry, I'm just thinking about how great the Braves are. So Nick and Tim are obviously Mets fans. I'm a Blue
Terry's
Jays
a Braves fan.
Bryant is a Yankees fan. Dave, what team do you cheer for?
I'm a fan of whoever makes me money.
Right answer.
Yeah.
Bryant,
but I bet against my teams all the time.
Fair enough.
All right.
I'm not gonna address that comment.
I know the Yankees are gonna end up making the World Series, so it's fine.
I'm not really worried about the team. That fan base had to celebrate a 4-game split like it was a division championship. But anyway, as it relates to this game, I'm super excited as just a baseball fan to watch this game fold out. As a bettor, this is gonna be one of those games I'm gonna be like nervously like scratching. Oh man, I'm worried here because I'm going with the under. So I trust Max. I will trust Max until he retires. I just think I've said this many times, but he's one of the best pitchers that we've seen in the last 25 years. I just think that's just it is what it is. I don't really think it's debatable. And I don't have any issues with anyone sitting there saying that they would rather back the Mets. You have, like I said, you have Max Scherzer on the mound. He looked good coming off the IL. But for me, I think my issue with that is ultimately I think that like that middle portion of the Mets bullpen is kind of suspect. I think that they could probably they probably will, knowing their ownership, they'll probably address it at the trade deadline. And I think that if somehow, some way, the Braves get Max out of the game, it's that little spot before the back end of that bullpen with Diaz and stuff like that I think that the Braves can exploit. And that's why I ultimately would lean towards the Braves winning the game. But my play and where my money's going is I'm going to the full game under, and I am going back to the well with the team total under as well. I like Free here to keep the Mets quiet offensively. I feel honestly for the Mets, and I say this as a Yankees fan, you guys had to face Sandy Alcantara, and then you don't get a day off, and you go to Atlanta to face Max Fried. That sucks.
Yeah.
that literally sucks.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to like that. Just sucks, man.
That's just been the first half of the season for the Mets. They've had one of the strongest strength of schedules, and they're still one of the top teams in the NL.
No, absolutely. And I've not made any sly comments about you guys not being for real. I think you guys are going to be one of the teams, last team standing at the end. But in this situation, I can't, like I said, I'm not going to put my money on any money line here. But I think it's just an odd spot. It's a very odd spot for you guys to have to travel down to Atlanta on top of that and face Max Fried after you just Sandy Alcantara just tossed 7 innings of no run ball against you. That's a lot for a team to deal with. And they're two different pitchers. They come at you two different ways as well. So ultimately, I have the Braves, like I said, lean the Braves to win, but I'm going to go with the Mets F5 team total under 1.5 at -145. And then I'm going to also put a unit on the full game under. So I get to incorporate Max as well. I think this game ends up being like 3-2, 3-1, something like that. And yeah, but I think this entire series is going to be a very good, very, very good series to watch. I think over the next couple of days, though, the games will open up in terms of the variance. I think the next 2 games aren't really as much pick'ems as this one is. So I think you can find a little bit better value and more decisive plays. But tonight, like I said, I'm just going to go with the under, watch these 2 pitchers shove, keep it moving.
All right. So it could be a bad scheduling spot here for the Mets. Nick, what do you think here, Mets and Braves?
Yeah, this is one of those games where I'm on the under as well. It's starting to scare me though, because I don't think I've seen a single person on the over in this game. Everybody's been on the under, which terrifies me, which makes me feel this is going to be 6-5 by the end of the 4th inning. And both pitchers might get lit up, which is terrifying. But no, I do like the under in this game. I got it at 4 at -125 last night, so I think I got it a few minutes after Terry did there, and it went down a little bit. It is what it is. I think this is a bad scheduling spot for both teams offensively because both teams are traveling after playing extra inning games last night. The Braves went to 12 innings against the Nationals. So
it was in Atlanta though.
Yeah, they were at home.
They
were at
home. They were in the bottom half. But still, they played 12 innings yesterday, so that didn't do them any favors against arguably the worst team in baseball in the Nationals. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go with the first five under 4 here. Offensively, I can see both these teams struggling to hit because the pitchers are top quality, and the Braves are getting lucky that they're not seeing 2 of the Mets All-Stars in the lineup tonight with McNeil and Marte most likely out as well. So I think that this might be a little bit of a watered-down Mets starting lineup as well. So I think that this could be a good spot for a first 5 under.
Perfect. We'll get to the 4th game, obviously, before we get to the last pitch and then best bets. One of my favorite games of the night, actually, and I wasn't originally going to be on my card at all. But the San Diego Padres are headed to Colorado. I was on the Padres yesterday. I believed in them in that spot, and that was a huge mistake that I made. But obviously, today is a new day, and I am not backing this Padres team. They've lost 10 games in a row in Colorado in Coors Field. For some reason, the Padres struggle in Denver. They've given up 5 earned runs in in their last 8 games in Coors Field, and they've given up 6 earned runs in 7 of the 8. So they've been giving up runs to this Colorado team as well. And Sean Manaea in two career starts in Coors Field, he's 0-2 with a 5.06 ERA. So he has also not pitched very well in Coors Field. I think this is a bad spot for the Padres team that got absolutely destroyed yesterday. A team that has dropped 11 of their last 16 games. They're just not playing well either. Now they head to a place, their house of horrors in Colorado. I'm on Colorado team total over 4.5, which I got earlier, minus 140. Usually I don't play anything other than minus 125. Sometimes, rarely minus 130s. But I wanted the 4.5 to get the Colorado team total 4.5 in Coors Field at minus 140 is a great price. And I'm also on Colorado full game money line at plus 132. I like the Rockies here. I think it's a great price on the Rockies for a team that they've dominated in Coors Field. Dave, Padres and Rockies, what do you think of this one?
So I think this is also probably my favorite game on the card today. You know, I've been on the Padres, and they've been sort of actually, they've been a real big disappointment, especially since Machado's come back. I thought they'd have, a new breath of life. He is the center of their team, the heartbeat of their offense, and it just hasn't seemed to be that way. But I'm not even looking really at the Padres. I'm looking at the Rockies and how they crush left-handed hitting, not just over the season everywhere, but at home. They're just lights out. Past 30 days, 337 average, 968 OPS, and WRC plus is 144. These guys are creating runs against left-handed hitters. I don't care how good they are. I'm taking, and also another thing, the bullpen, the Rockies bullpen for the season is down towards the bottom of the stat line. But the last 30 days, they're actually not too bad. They're kind of middle of the pack. So their bullpen's improvements. You really don't have to worry about, who's this Jose Arena guy who they just got from the Brewers. I think the Rockies, this is another fireworks show. I take the Rockies any way you can. Money lines full game is a plus 132. I like that. Another bet that I really like that I don't like anymore was the Rockies' first 5 total at 2.5. I don't know who set that last night. That seems real low. I got it at minus 120. It's at minus 135 last time I looked. I'm not going to touch that. That might be a parlay type of deal. Not big on parlays, but I think it's all Rockies all day.
All right. I was just trying to check the updated total, but there doesn't appear to be any.
I'll take a look right now.
Tim, Padres and Rockies. What do you think here?
All right, I'll be on a boat by myself. I'll be on the San Diego Padres run line tonight. You mentioned San Diego's lost how many games in Colorado in a row?
10.
Yeah, 3 of those are this year. Those are the only ones I care about. This is and it's 3 games, and it had Snell, Martinez, and Gore on the mound. You're getting Sean Manaea, which is better than all 3 of those guys. And yes, we just saw the Padres struggle offensively a lot in that series. What is the best place to go to when you're struggling to hit? How about Coors Field? That's going to really be able to wake them up against Urania and a Colorado pitching staff that I'm not super high on. Sure, we could see some fireworks. Colorado could put up some runs too, but at the end of the day, I think San Diego's got the upper hand. I think Sean Manaea will be able to keep Colorado down enough to really go at it. And you mentioned Manaea's starts in Colorado, and all of them were not this year. So I'm going to go and take San Diego. I think Sean Manaea's got the pitching advantage. I think San Diego's ultimately the better team. And I got the run line at plus 105. I think it's down to even money, maybe even minus money now. I think San Diego's just overall the better team and it's just going to take care of business tonight. and they need to against a crappy team in Colorado. They need to start catching the Dodgers and soon. So this is an important series for them just to get work done, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
All right, a little bit of disagreement there. But hey, if past year stats don't matter to you, that's totally fine. But they matter to other people, so it's just or to some people. So to each his own. Bryant, what do you think here? Padres and Rockies. You're muted.
Mute.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I was looking at some numbers here that I had found. There's no way I can back the Rockies tonight. And I've been a strong proponent of finding ways to back the Rockies this year. But the number one stat that sticks out for me is the fact that Jose Urena has a ERA of 2, but his expected ERA is 6.19. I'm not
this year.
Yes, this
I think
year.
he's only thrown one start this year, or at least
Well, that's
he's only
the thing. He's a relief pitch. He was a relief pitcher at the Brewers, so it's going to be
It's going to be inflated a little bit, yes. But he's also playing in Coors Field too. I can't get behind the money line here. You can talk me into saying that Manaea is going to give up some runs. I would not disagree there. Ultimately, though, I'm going to follow in the footsteps of my good friend Tim Earl here. I am not going to go on the run line, or the full game run line, but I think that the Padres come out and blitz Jose Urena. You get enough outs from Manaea because he is just a better pitcher. I mean, there's no debate really in that regard. I think he gets enough outs to cash his F5 run line, and I'm going to boost it up instead of just a -0.5. I'm going to take it up to minus. I got it at -1, and that's at +115. So I'm looking after the first 5 innings. I think that the Padres will at least be up at least 2 runs. I get the security and get a push if they are only up literally just 1. But I'm going to take plus money here, and I'm going to back the better team with the better starting pitcher, despite the fact that I think he is going to give up some runs. Ultimately, I think a combination of the fact that they did get handled this weekend, and what Tim said, that they need to make a move now, because they still don't know when Tatis is coming back. So it's like either you make a push, so maybe you can go out and get someone at the trade deadline offensively to help you out, and you can do it in good faith, knowing that okay, we got a chance here. Or you just say, you know what, let's just reset, relax, and we'll pick up the pieces next year when we have a healthy Tatis. So with that being said, I think that they are going to make that push, and it starts with them beating the Rockies. They got swept earlier this year. I lost some coins on that series, man, because I thought it was a sure lock that the Padres were going to go in there and handle business. And every night I kept going to the Padres somehow, some way, and I got screwed. So here I am putting on my clown mask again, and hoping that the Padres don't screw me. But I'm not going to take it on a full game. Like I said, I'm going to get in and get out and look for the Padres to get to Urena early. And yeah.
I will say real quick. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will say real quick in terms of Padres, where they are sitting, 8 games behind the Dodgers, but they're currently 2.5 games up on the Phillies. They're in the second wild card spot, 3 games behind the Braves.
Yeah. And I mean, eight games is not insurmountable in terms of a division, especially how shaky the Dodgers starting pitching has been. So they definitely still have a shot, a very real shot to come get to the division. But you can't lose series like this when you're trying to catch the LA Dodgers. I'm sorry, just not going to work.
All right, we'll see if they can break their house of horrors that this has been for the Padres. Nick, what do you think here? Padres and Rockies.
Yeah, we have 2 on the Rockies, 2 on the Padres, so I get to break the tie here. I'm going to pass on this game. I want nothing to do with it. I'm not trusting either of them. And the total's too high to bet it over at 12. If you wanted to bet an over, it was an 11.5 last night. And I'm not trying to back an under with these 2 pitchers. I've backed unders in uglier games. I will probably get into one of those uglier games I have an under on during last pitch. But this is definitely not one of those games. So this is a complete pass for me. You guys have fun with this one. I want nothing to do with it.
Perfect. Right
Is
before
that
we
a
get
good
to
way to break the tie?
hey, not really, but hey, to each everyone that's watching can make up their mind. They've been given a lot of information, so they can go what side they like if they like a side. But BetStamp, our show sponsor, use code WILD when signing up. Do your line shopping. BetStamp is great just for finding all these different odds at the different books. You can find me at Let's Go Wild Picks on BetStamp as well to see my picks, whether it's live, the moment I put them in. Like I said, I bet the 2 games last night in the Philly St. Louis Mets in Atlanta. If you followed me on BetStamp, you would find out the moment I bet them. So make sure to sign up at BetStamp, use code WILD. But we will go on to last pitch. I have went over my 4 picks today. That's a small slate for me. Normally, I have quite a bit more than 4 picks, but I do have a 2-team parlay that I didn't give out. Atlanta plus 2.5 and Colorado plus 2.5 for minus 109. I like both those teams to win, so I'll take it plus 2.5 on each side for around minus 110. I think it's a good price for something that I really think will happen. And that is basically it for me. Last pitch today. Dave, is there any other picks in any other games that you want to give out?
There is one. It's if I know for you can't do FanDuel in Canada, right?
Yep.
You can.
We have FanDuel here.
Okay. So if you guys bet at FanDuel, they have a race to runs bet, which oftentimes might be able to give you some better odds as opposed to betting a total. And I haven't looked at it since I bet it last night, but it's the Rangers race to 4 runs was at minus 106. You could even bump it up to 5 runs at plus 122, get some sweet plus money. But the A's are just horrible in every sense of the word. I like the way the Rangers are batting at home right now. I also like how the Rangers are playing in general. So I think they get 4 runs. I think that's a gift at nearly even money. So I have the Rangers race to 4 runs at minus 106 on FanDuel.
All right. Tim, anything else in the world of baseball that you want to give out?
Well, I just hit my under in the Royals. They won 3-1. I also had the Nerfy in that game. I guess the only other big one that I really wanted to mention is I'm on Tampa. And I know that's probably not the pretty pick at the moment after they got swept by the Reds. But they're against Boston. And Boston's coming off of a big Sunday night baseball game versus the Yankees. And Boston's throwing out Bello on the mound again, who got shelled by the Rays the last time. I think this is a good spot for the Rays. They were probably back in Tampa probably like an hour or so before the Yankee game even started, or the Red Sox game even started. And then the Red Sox played. That game ended at almost midnight last night, and then had to travel to Tampa Bay. This is a flat spot for them. I do this all the time. You fade the Sunday night team. Tampa Bay is the only play I really didn't give out today. So that's pretty much it.
All right. Bryant, anything else in baseball you want to give out?
Yeah, no. One, I'll start immediately with Rays Red Sox. One of my friends has been like adamant about fading Sunday night teams if they play on Monday. And the results are actually pretty surprising that generally they either lose the game or they come out flat as hell. So you can catch them sneaking on the F5. And that's kind of where I'm at here. I'm not backing the Rays, but I do expect for them to, like you said, they had the rest advantage a little bit. And 2, they're facing a rookie that they just lit up in Boston. And now he gets to make the same start against that same team in the Trop. And the Trop is a hellhole. You go there as a road team, and sometimes your dreams go to die there. So I'm going to take the Red Sox, or not the Red Sox, but the Rays F5 team total over 2.5. It's plus money. I think they get to them. And I feel like this is a game where the Red Sox, they'll ride the momentum and they'll find a way to win this game because they have the offense too. But I think it won't be an easy venture. They're gonna have to work for it. And I look for the Rays to jump on this kid a little early and put the pressure on the Red Sox. And so that's one play that I've got that we hadn't mentioned. Another play that I like is the Rangers team total over 4.5 at -110. Spencer Howard is not he's not backable for me. I can't do that at all. But the Rangers have been hitting the ball pretty well. They've scored 6 runs in like 4 of their last like 7 games. Took a couple games from the Twins this weekend. I can't see Adrian Martinez getting off the hook twice in a row now. So I'm going to back the Rangers to get some runs tonight. Really, that's my only other play. I like the Giants to win. I don't know if I'll back it because it's Merrill Kelly, and Merrill Kelly just finds the ways to keep the Diamondbacks competitive. So I'll probably stay away, but that's it for me. Those are my only other plays. Yeah, I have no desire to get into that Pirates Marlins game. So yeah, that's it.
All right. Dave, there was a question here for you from Jay Shank. Would you touch Rangers -1.5 or money line and parlays?
Well, like I said, I haven't looked at the odds since I bet it, and I probably should. But I like the Rangers here. There's probably a reason why I didn't bet the money. Well, I'm sure the money line's up around -180 or something.
Rangers money line -170. The run line's +110.
Okay, I would never touch money line odds like that, even in a parlay. But I wouldn't mind going Rangers run line. That's not a bad look.
All right. Nick, last pitch. What do you think here?
Yeah, I went to Miami, Pittsburgh. I got the first 5 under 4 there. Just those offenses, I don't trust to put up runs, even though it's not the greatest of pitching matchups there with Keller and Rogers. I think we can see a decently lower scoring game there. I did take Merrill Kelly in the first 5 innings at +125 on the money line with the Diamondbacks. And I mentioned this earlier. I had I didn't want to touch that San Diego game. I said there is an uglier under I do have on it, and I'm actually taking Adrian Martinez and Spencer. Why can't I remember his last name there?
Howard.
Spencer Howard. There we go. First 5 under 4.5. This is more of a fade of the offenses. Also, this is one of those things that I've picked up on this a little bit when I'm someone who does look a little bit at like where the market moves, and seeing a decent chunk of the tickets and the cash going to the over, but yet seeing this total go from 9 to 8.5. The last time I saw something similar to that with 2 really bad pitchers, it was a game between, I believe, Austin Gomber and Dallas Keuchel that went under the total of 9. So I think I'm taking a shot here. This is an ugly play. It's not pretty. The first 5 under 4.5 here with the Rangers and the Athletics.
All right. And we will get to best bets before we finish off the show. And we will start with dog of the day, as we always do. For me, Colorado Rockies are my dog of the day. Nick, you're going with Arizona Diamondbacks. Tim, you're going with the New York Mets. Bryant, is there a dog that you like today?
No, sir. Staying away from it today.
All right. Dave, is there a plus money dog that you like today?
I'm with you on the Rockies.
All right. And then we will go on to over or under. For me, I'm on a few different totals, but I chose Philly, St. Louis, first 5 under 4, just because I can't give out the Mets Atlanta under 4 anymore because it's a 3.5. So I went with the first 5 under 4. In this one, I also really like that Colorado team total over 4.5, but it is -140. So to each his own. Nick, you're going with Oakland, Texas, first 5 under 4.5. Tim, you were going with Chicago White Sox, Cleveland over 9. Jake sent in Pittsburgh, Miami over 7.5. Bryant, is there a total you like today?
Yes, I'm going to go with the Braves Mets under 7.
All right. Dave, is there a total you like today?
Yep, I'm the same game, but first 5 innings, I got it at 3.5. Some of you guys got it at 4, but I'm fine with 3.5.
All right, perfect. Then going on to best bets, best parlay pieces. For me, my parlay piece is the Rockies plus 2.5. Nick, you're going Chicago White Sox money line. Tim, you're going New York Mets plus 1.5. Jake is taking San Diego, Colorado over 10.5. Bryant, what is your parlay piece today?
Yeah, my parlay piece is going to be the Atlanta Braves, plus plus a half for the first 5.
All right. Perfect. And Dave, I know you don't do parlays, but if there's a bet that you really like tonight that could cash, any odds, what do you think? What would it be?
I'll go with Colorado first 5 team total 2.5. It's at minus 135. Just not something I'll bet singularly, but I want to throw it in a parlay.
2.5, right?
Yep, 2.5.
All right, perfect. And then best bets for me, New York Mets, Atlanta first 5 under 3.5. You can currently find it for minus 109, the best price. Nick, you're going Arizona first 5 money line plus 125. Tim, you're going a 2-team parlay, Tampa Bay money line and San Diego money line for plus 230. Jake is going Atlanta Braves money line, which is currently minus 130 for the best odds for that. Bryant, what is your best bet?
My best bet is going to be the Phillies first 5 money line.
Right. And I'll quickly look here for the odds for that. What is your best bet, Dave?
I've got White Sox team total 4.5 over, and I think it's at minus 125. I'll help you out and look.
Over 1.5 or 4.5?
4.5. Yep.
And I will find odds after the show is done. Best luck to everybody today. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash like button. We appreciate all the support, and we will be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Best of luck on your wagers, and we'll see you tomorrow.